but you can forgive some of the Hibs supporters for going out of their minds, I suppose, temporarily. Just 4 years ago, they all streamed out of here in tears after a humiliation at the hands of their great rivals' Hearts. Well, those who went through that turmoil and all the other trials and tribulations to befall this club in the modern era can eradicate all those painful memories. They have done it, and few will grudge them this almighty triumph, Craig Patterson.
That's an incredible end, and not what we want to see. We want to see the cup presented. After that length of time, you want everything to be smooth, you want the lap of honour. That's not going to happen. Some people are on just celebrating, that's fine. At the other end, there's going to be problems and there's going to be repercussions, and the last thing we wanted to see. It was an incredible game of football, it was an incredible end, and we just don't need this.
No, the horse is out, as you can see now as well, the police horses. It's something we haven't seen in a generation, let alone the generations that have passed since Hibs last won the Scottish Cup. Rangers supporters spilled out onto the pitch as well. The drama of the injury time winner from David Gray was all too much for the Hibs supporters, and this has been pent up inside them for 114 years. They have had misery after misery in this competition, misery after misery. This season, not even Gordon Smith, Bobby Johnston, Laurie Riley, Eddie Turnbull and Willie Ormond managed to do this. The famous five, the greatest forward line in Hibernian history. It has now been 0 years since Hibs won the Scottish Cup. It is glory, glory to the Hibees. And after more than a century, the Chief has finally put sunshine on Leith. It finished here at Hampden Park. Rangers 2, Hibernian 3.
Well, thank goodness there is a police presence on the pitch now to get between the two sets of support. What is a glory day for Hibs, no doubt about that. Has gone pretty ugly in the last few minutes. It's scenes of celebration, and it will be long into the night for the Hibs fans. It's a historic day for them, but those scenes outside on the pitch are ones we hoped to avoid, Pat.
Well, I was back here in 1980 when it was a lot worse than that, let's be fair. But we don't want to see that. There's an argument that you can understand the level of 114 years worth of frustration bubbling over, so you run on the pitch. It's never right to do it, but you understand it, but it's not right. It's absolutely not right. And it's without taking the shine off it, it's not ruined it, but that's not what anybody at Hibs wants to see really now. It's not what anybody wants to see at the end of what was a fabulous game of football.
It was all great. It was a fantastic game of football. You know, I mean, look, it is what it is outside, but I think it's. I think we should be focusing on the game, and I think we've seen a great game of football today. The second half dipped a little bit in terms of the start. It was the tempo went down, but Rangers had it in their hands at 2-1. They could have seen the game out and tried to control the possession. Hibs looked dead on their feet, and from somewhere they got a second wind and really came back at Rangers. And at the end of it, they thoroughly deserved that victory. And I'm delighted for the club and for the Hibs support. They've waited a long time for it, and I think we should focus on the game because it was a great game of football.
It's going to be some celebration, Ronald, when you've waited 114 years to win the Scottish Cup. 1902, the last time Hibs had their hands on it.
I see Pet getting emotional here next to me. Of course, it does something with you. And of course, in back of your mind, if you win a prize like that with Hibs, that you will be standing in history for a long, long time. And I must say, of course, the 2-1, Maka said it, if Rangers just kept the ball a little bit, I would never see Hibs coming back in the game, but they lost the ball, every second ball they lost, easy passes, and then they deserved to win after that. We said after the 2-2, Hibs going to win it. Is the one team who's going to score, it's Hibs, because Rangers were all over the place.
In the final analysis, was it about desire, Michael?
Well, that was it. As I said, at 2-1, Hibs looked dead on their feet, and they didn't look like, Pat had spoken very rightly about trying to change the formation to get back into the game because they didn't pose a threat in the second half. Just lifted their energy levels from somewhere.
There's a family snap. The Murray family celebrating the Hibs win as much as anyone at the moment. Judy Murray in charge of the photograph. And of course Andy Murray, who is getting himself started in the French Open tennis, will be delighted to hear the news from here as well.
I mean, it's the amount of abuse you take over the years being a Hibs fan, waiting for this moment, and it kind of almost hasn't kind of sunk in yet. Hope they get a chance to get everyone off the pitch so that you can get this trophy lift. So that, you know, one of the big things that Hibs fans like to do is at the end of it celebrate with singing, you know, Sunshine in Leith, and everyone can go together with it. And they've not had the chance to do that sort of stuff yet, and we'd like to see that chance. And so and also the players, you want to get out there and you want to celebrate with the fans, hopefully with them in the stands.
Well, there is an irony, isn't it? I mean, Hibs fans have waited so long to win the Scottish Cup, and what they've done by going on the pitch is delaying the presentation of that piece of silver.
Look, you know, I said I wanted to talk about the game quickly. I can understand why some Hibs fans have ran the pitch. The ones that have run up to the Rangers fans, that's silly.